Hey there, this is Heidi from Create with Heidi, and today I'm going to show you how to make a snowflake ornament. I'm using a standard tack mat, pearl vinyl, transfer tape, a weeding pen, scissors, a paper trimmer, and an acrylic ornament. As you can see here, I now have black pearl vinyl instead of white. After I started off with white, I changed my mind and decided to use black. So that's the switch. I'm going to speed up this video so that we can quickly get through the snowflake cutting and do the fun parts. Okay, now that the cutting is done, I am going to weed this ornament. Weeding is when you remove the excess vinyl that is not needed for the project. So you can see that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pulling off all that excess. I'm going to use my weeding pen to remove all the small fine pieces. Okay, to remove vinyl from the mat, I always like to flip the mat over and peel the mat away from the vinyl to avoid any damage or ripping being done to the vinyl. I'm placing the acrylic ornament on my mat so that I can find the center and place a little mark on it. I'm not putting it directly on the acrylic, I'm putting it on the protective plastic layer. What this does is it helps me center the snowflake when I put it on the ornament. I'm using yellow grid transfer tape to pick up this pearl vinyl. In the beginning of the video, I had red and then I ended up switching it out because I realized that this vinyl needs the yellow grid, which is a stronger tack. Okay, now it's time to place this snowflake on the ornament. So I'm peeling off one of the plastic layers and I'm using that center to line it up. And I'm realizing that I cut the snowflake out a little bit bigger than the ornament. So I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife to cut off a couple of those edge pieces so that my snowflake will fit on this ornament. Okay, there we go. That should fit now. I was noticing I was having a hard time getting it centered without the vinyl falling down to adhere to the ornament. So I flipped the vinyl over so that I could then place the ornament on top of that vinyl. Okay, that is done. Now what I'm going to do is use my weeding pen, scissors, some white heat transfer vinyl, some red ribbon, and a mini heat press to customize some ribbon for this ornament, because this ornament is going to be a gift. I'm putting my heat transfer vinyl shiny side down on the mat, and then I'm mirroring my image because ultimately that shiny side is that protective barrier from the heat. We'll have the machine cut this real quick. Then I will weed this heat transfer vinyl before we move on to the next part, which is the fun part. I am using a 5/8 inch ribbon, which means I had to cut out the letters really small. Them being small makes it a little bit more tedious to weed. So I sped that up because it took me quite a bit of time to do that weeding, and I didn't want to bore you with it. Okay, weeding done, so I'm taking that off the mat, and then I am going to cover my mat back up and grab my scissors, and I am going to cut the bottom off of this because it has some of that heat transfer vinyl pieces on it. I'm going to cut off that bottom part. It says Matthew, that's who this is for, and then the top part says Merry Christmas. I didn't actually end up using this Merry Christmas ribbon, but I still thought it would be fun for you to see the options that are available. It's super fun to customize ribbon to make really personalized gifts. It can literally say anything you want it to say. The fun thing about putting Matthew's name on the ribbon is it eliminates the need for a gift tag because the name is just already right there on the bow that is going to be tied on this gift. Okay, those are cooled thanks to my cooling block, which cools things down much faster. So I removed those. The heat transfer vinyl stuck beautifully. And now I can remove from the Merry Christmas ribbon as well. The last two things I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ribbon through this ornament so that the ornament is finished. And then I am going to wrap the Matthew ribbon around a wooden box. I thought that the wooden box looked really nice by itself and didn't really need to be wrapped. And so I am just leaving it open like that. And the ribbon is what is going to dress it up and make it look nice. Okay, that box is all done now. So here are the 3 projects for this video.